Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of Rebuilding Hockey Town, and let's get right down to business. Our lineup remains the same, but of course, we need to take a look at our opponents, the Ottawa Senators, before beginning this series. And as you get a look at the team ratings, again, I don't typically put too much stock into it, but you can tell who their best player is. It is their captain, Erik Karlsson. Is still a Sen in this series. Of course, they went to 7 games in the first round, so I expect to see some higher point totals from their team. But this should be pretty interesting. Let's take a look here. First line, you have Mike Hoffman, had 3 points in those 7 games. Shane Prince, currently on their top line, in fairness, has 6 assists so far in this postseason, which is pretty surprising, but he is currently their top line center. Funny that he was reacquired. Was he not? Or am I confusing when he ended up on the Islanders? Was he traded from the Islanders to the Sens or traded from the Sens to the Islanders? I think it's the latter. Sens to the Islanders, now he's back on the Sens. I don't know, but regardless, he is their top line center, and Bobby Ryan, 36 years old, is still there with 5 points. Interesting, to say the least. A very interesting top line. Second line, Gabriel Gagne, an 88 overall, is centered by Nick Bjugstad. Mark Stone is on the right-hand side, not currently 100%, so that could be a big factor in this series. Ryan Zingle, apparently the D is silent. It's not Dezingle. Apparently it's Zingle. At least that's the indication from a Senators press conference. Anyway, point being, he is centered by Logan Brown. Colin White is on the right-hand side. The fourth line, Colton Sissons with Kevin Rooney and Kyle Rao. So they ended up with quite a few creative players. It's a pretty well-rounded lineup. I don't want to take any shots at them because that team very well, if they play at a high enough level, can beat us. There's no question about that. But they don't have the extremely scary players, mainly because clearly they're saving those for their defense. You have Christopher Bendulis, who is a creative player, signed with the Washington Capitals in real life. He is on the top pairing with Erik Karlsson. Second pairing, Thomas Chabot, is with Cody Ceci. And your third pairing, Marcus Nutivara with Carl Alsner. Right, the goaltender is Mike Condon. He had a .924 save percentage in the first round. Neuwirth is the backup. No injuries, 3 healthy scratches. Vlasic, Clayson, and surprisingly, Philip Chalapik not in their starting lineup. Very surprising. An interesting lineup for the Ottawa Senators. Are we the favorites? Should we win this series? I would say yes. And especially given the fact that they have an 82 overall goalie. But that could make it worse. Crazier things have happened, and this team getting eliminated by an 82 overall goalie, I could see it happening. But regardless, it is time to begin this series. Let's get right into it. Game 1 on home ice. First period, let's go, and it's a goal apiece. Benoit Giroux and Mike Hoffman, the opening goals. All right, well, we did score 49 seconds in, so that's a positive note. Second period, oh my God. All right, well, let's take a second to dissect this, shall we? As Shane Prince scores 2 goals, Nick Bjugstad scored to make it 4-1 at that point, but then 2 late goals, 2 very quick goals from Hronek and Tippett make it a 4-3 game. Ian Scott, 4 goals on 17 shots. Not good enough. We need you to be less like Pekka Rinne, please. That would be great. Third period, let's go. Can we turn it around? Yes, we can. Taylor Hall, the immediate goal. Rasmus Dahlin is on the board. And the Red Wings firing on all cylinders. Our offense is clicking. It's just the defense and the goaltending that we have to worry about. Hoffman scored on Ville Husso So he clearly came in after the fourth goal, you would imagine. And we're going to overtime in game one. I don't know how to feel about that. Taylor Hall and Rasmus Dahlin. It looks like Dahlin might have the GWG. Hoffman denies that. Overtime. Let's go. Can't hype it up anymore. Overtime. Early power play for the Sens is killed off. We have one of our own, and for once we take advantage of it. That's a miracle in and of itself. Rasmus Dahlin, his second goal of the game-winning goal in overtime. And the Detroit Red Wings take game one. Not in dominant fashion, to say the least, as it is a surprising 6-5 final. This coming off of back-to-back shutouts of Montreal. We gave up 3 goals to the Habs in 4 games. We gave up 5 goals to the Sens in game 1 alone. That is frightening. Grand Rapids, on the other hand, as we quickly change subjects, have found out their opponent for the next round. It'll be the Cleveland Monsters. So we'll keep an eye on that somewhat. But of course, the main focus is with the NHL team. Let's do this. Game 2. No reason to delay. Let's go. Ian Scott, we're looking for redemption here. Have a solid game and get us that 2-0 series lead. First period here of game 2, and that's a good start. Cole Lind, another really early goal, this time 48 seconds in to the game. 16 shots to 7. Lind Sparta kicking Mike Condon based on where he scored from. A strong opening period for the Red Wings. Can we keep that up in the second period? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Owen Tippett and Nico Hischier make it a 3-0 game. Bobby Ryan, though, does get the Sens on the board. I'm sorry for stumbling there and stammering, but I noticed we're out shooting them 34-10. That is one of the biggest shot differentials I think I've ever seen. 34-10 at the end of the opening 40 minutes. 2 periods down, 1 to go. Let's do this. One more goal would be nice. We have a power play, and that's not ideal, is it? Colton Sissons makes this a 1-goal game. I am very much concerned with 5 minutes to go. Can we hold on? Can we get that 4th goal? Either or would be nice. And Pascale gets the empty netter. All right, man, I thought they tied it. I genuinely thought they tied it. They did not. And despite looking shaky at times, we do have the 2-0 series lead, taking advantage of home ice as you always aim to do. So not bad. Not bad. Unfortunately, Grand Rapids did lose their first game in overtime to Cleveland. But so far, so good. A perfect record for the Wings. Will that continue as we find ourselves in Ottawa for Game 3? Let's go. First period here in Ottawa, and we have a 2-1 lead at the end of the first period. Hagman and Marsh made it a 2-0 game to start, but Shane Prince brings the Sens back to within 1. All right, though, still 2 goals on 7 shots. Good efficiency thus far. Second period, can we add or at least maintain the lead? Yes, we can. We can do both. Or, well, yeah, I mean, we maintained the lead and we added to it. So, yeah, that would be correct. I really need to stop recording so late in the day. But you know what? Taylor Hall made it a 3-1 game. Everything's coming up Millhouse so far. We are 20 minutes away from having a commanding 3-0 series lead. Let's see if we can get the job done. And that is not a good start at all. Mike Hoffman makes it a 1-goal game. And then Nick Bjugstad ties it. Right. That's just lovely. Power play for Ottawa is killed off. Can we maybe bounce back here with a late game winner? Please? That'd be nice. Please? No? Overtime. Great. Well, we went to overtime in game 1, and we came out on the winning side. I don't have a tremendous amount of confidence that that's going to happen again, but you never know. Let's go overtime, early power play. What is going on in this episode? Wow. Twice. Let's just let that moment sink in. Let that moment sink in. Twice in overtime, in a playoff game, we were able to score on a power play. That might be the first time ever that it's happened in the same series twice. I genuinely can't recall that happening in any of my other series. Owen Tippett, you beautiful, beautiful man, gets the GWG. It's a 4-3 win in Game 3. The Red Wings keep this perfect streak alive. We have the 3-0 series lead on the Sens. Things are looking very, very good for us at the moment. Unfortunately, Grand Rapids lost again. They are in for a very tough matchup with the Cleveland Monsters. But we'll focus on them in a minute. Because right now, we have some business to attend to, although the calendar glitched out and it's not letting me sim the game, so that's kind of cool. We'll have to go all the way back here and hit simulate from here, but that is fine. Game 4. Let's do this. First period in Ottawa, and the lone goal, Mark Stone. Under 2 minutes into the first period, and the Sens walk away with the lead despite being outshot 15-6. A strong start for them. Second period, not good. I mean, incredibly good from a shot perspective. We're now out shooting them 29-14. But to not be on the board at this stage is pretty concerning. Mike Condon doing everything he can to keep his team in this. Third period, can the Sens hold on and force Game 5, or will Quentin Hughes tie the game up early? Power play for the Sens is killed off. We have ourselves a game here. The Sens fighting for their lives, and Nutivaara gets a goal back. All right. Or Nutivaara, I have no idea. Jonathan Dahlen has tied this game, and it comes down to this final stretch. It comes down to overtime again. 41 shots to 21. Mike Condon, again, doing everything that he can to keep this series alive. Can he do it? Overtime in Game 4. Let's go. Will we have an early winner? Please? Maybe. I don't want to have to go back to Detroit to play. I want some time off. Power play for the Sens is killed off. We're able to escape the danger area in the minutes following that. And, well, we are going back to Detroit to play another game. Bobby Ryan. Bobby Ryan, the overtime winner. Mike Condon, 47 saves, a .959 save percentage. Case in point. Case in point. Goaltending, not sure how big of a factor it plays. Now, of course, it's always nice to be able to get a goalie, 88 and up. But it doesn't always matter, unfortunately. As he forces a Game 5. Literally, he forced it. It wasn't even Bobby Ryan or any of the other Sens. Mike Condon is the reason why we are playing this Game 5 here. Mike Condon is the reason why we lost our first game in this postseason. Let's aim, though, to get a redemption right here, right now, and close out the second round series. First period here of Game 5 is scoreless, dead even in shots as well. Second period, my God, I don't know what to say to that. The levee has broken, and we've finally gotten to Mike Condon. Kyle Rao made it a 1-0 game, scored a minute and 32 seconds into the period. But then from there, 16 seconds later, Taylor Hall, Owen Tippett, Andrei Svechnikov, and Benoit Giroux. 4-1 at the end of the second period. The potential final 20 minutes of Ottawa's season, unless they have a miracle comeback on their hands, and it could very well have just started with a Shane Prince goal. 7 minutes to go. I think we're in the clear. The Detroit Red Wings, after last year's postseason collapse, have rebounded in a fantastic way. The sweep of Montreal, beating the Ottawa Senators in 5 games, and we are going back to the Eastern Conference Final. How do you like that? A 4-2 victory in Game 5 seals the deal. And now we can pay attention to the Griffins, who have made it a series. 2 straight wins over the Monsters. A decisive Game 5 that they win as well. 3 straight wins after dropping the first 2 games to Cleveland. Game 6 also goes their way. Wow, what a comeback. What a comeback for the Grand Rapids Griffins. They lose the first 2 games and then win the next 4 to beat Cleveland in 6. They will play the San Diego Gulls in the conference final. But as for who we play in the next round, place your bets. Who's it going to be? The Detroit Red Wings in the conference final will take on the Philadelphia Flyers. The team that we narrowly beat for the President's Trophy. Identical records. We beat them on tiebreaker. It couldn't be any more fitting. The 2 best teams in the conference will go toe-to-toe in the conference final. What a matchup that's going to be. And I can't wait to get a look at their team. Can't wait to get a look at their team. I feel like it'll be a very intriguing matchup. But as far as stats for us, Taylor Hall, 10 points so far now in this postseason. 7 for Nico, 12 for Owen Tippett. What a beast. Second line's a little bit quiet. Only 3 points for Svechnikov, 4 for Dahlin, 5 for Vic Marsh. Third line, Pascale with 6, 8 for Ruzicka, and 6 for Cole Lind. And then the fourth line, Tommy Hagman with 3. Same for Benoit Garou, and same for Robert Thomas, all 3 assists. But obviously the team will be kept together. You do have to factor in who's on the power play and who isn't because of the player roles and trying to balance the morale. Defensively, Hronek with 8 points, only 1 for Aaron Ekblad, but he has been that shutdown presence, or an additional shutdown presence, as of course we do have Nick Hague, who is an absolute beast. 2 goals for Rasmus Dahlin in that series. Quentin Hughes with 2 points. 3 points for Liljegren. He has yet to rebound, which is unfortunate. Again, it'll most likely be his final season here, and it's just unfortunate. But all of that roster turnover, it's going to have to wait. We are still at least an episode or 2 away from having to worry about the offseason. Next on the agenda, we worry about the Philadelphia Flyers. At the AHL level, we worry about the San Diego Gulls, and you get a look at the record difference. Unbelievable. 52 wins versus 34. The Griffins, absolutely the favorites heading in to that conference final matchup as well. But again, I cannot wait to get a look at that Philadelphia team. And quickly taking a look here in the playoffs, goals for per game. I mean, geez, almost averaging 3.5 goals per game, which is ridiculous. Philly, though, the best goals against average per game. That could be concerning. The power play, a little bit quiet, but again, we have to have the power play set up a certain way. I did want to take a look at that, but remembering how it's set up, it's fine. We should be okay. Guys, that'll do it for this episode, man. We cruise our way to the conference final. Philly beat Buffalo in 5 and just barely snuck past the Carolina Hurricanes. We swept Montreal. We beat Ottawa in 5, and that sets up a clash of the Titans in the next round. By the way, over in the West, Colorado, a sweep, or Colorado, 7 games and then a sweep. LA, a sweep, and then 7 games. That is another very interesting series. But guys, again, that'll do it for this one. I hope you did enjoy this episode of Rebuilding Hockey Town. Of course, if you did, make sure to hit that like button to help support the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already to continue following this series and others. Follow me on Twitter at Tuki24 for updates and other random stuff. And join the notification squad if you haven't already to make sure that you don't miss an upload. I'll see you guys very, very soon as we are halfway home. Halfway. 8 wins down. 8 to go. Can we make it back to the Stanley Cup final? We will find out in the next episode of Rebuilding Hockey Town.